Australian Open 2025 special offer tickets in happy hour promotional emails. Australian Open 2026 crickets. G'day and welcome to this Australian Open Life. Our story is Grand Slam tennis. Can you feel the excitement in the air? Can you feel it coming? It is Melbourne, it is summer, it is sun, it is Australian Open lead up. We're in December 2025. And usually around this time, special offer tickets are sent out to keen tennis fans everywhere around the world. Word on the street is that special offer tickets for the Australian Open 2025 haven't yet arrived in the inboxes of some of our favourite tennis fans, and a shout out to tennis fan Kaz22. Thank you for this heads up. Tennis fan Kaz was saying her inbox is a little bit lightweight today. Tennis Australia sent out happy hour promotional tickets in December 2024, and they were great value. They were pretty hard to get to. You had to get onto the Australian Open website pretty damn fast. And tennis fan Kaz saying she better get online and buy tickets for the first day of Australian Open 2026, which is Monday, the 12th of January 2026, when the qualifiers start. But knowing tennis fan Kaz, usually they're front and centre in some of the best seats going around at Rod Laver and Margaret Court, Kia Arena, and apologies if I speak out of turn. Thanks for that heads up. From tennis fan Kaz, a great supporter of this Australian Open Life. The Australian Open 2025 our promo, it struck me as a really clever promotional tactic last year. Get the word out to the champions of the Australian Open, the people who really love going there every year. Now, speaking of clever, I've been passing by Melbourne Park on the train twice a day since the 3rd of November 2025, and from a distance, because I haven't been there yet to see for myself, seems to me the party court, which made its debut on the eastern side of Kia Arena at Australian Open 2025, it's not there. Is it making an appearance next year's Australian Open again? I can't see any kind of installation work going on. Now, last year, and I'll put it up now, this Australian Open Life, we spent some time at the Australian Open 2025 during the night session, hovering around the party court on the Kia Arena walkway, looking out to the east of Melbourne Park. And I can only say I didn't like it at all myself. Some people did. It was well attended. They had it set up like a bar, people hanging over drip trays on the eastern side of that court as matches were going on. Stefanos Tsitsipas was practicing there the day that I was there during practice sessions. He got dumped out in round one on the party court. Work it out for yourself why that happened. Now, so going back to these happy hour promos, could it be the reason that they haven't turned up in some people's inboxes is because Craig Tiley, the CEO of Tennis Australia, maybe he's forgot to send them out? And why would that be? Well, maybe he's got bigger fish to fry at the moment. There's an article, December 13, 2025, by Scott Spitz in the Melbourne Age, that Craig Tiley has been approached to become the new boss of United States Tennis. Long-time Australian Open boss Craig Tiley is in advanced talks to take on the most senior role in US tennis, according to a respected publication. Now, if you want to check that out and see what all the noise is about, go to theage.com.au/sport/tennis, and you can find that article and catch up on that news. Now, Craig Tiley isn't Australian. He's originally from South Africa, and he's made a great name for himself looking after the Australian Open year upon year. Paul McNamee, I think it was Paul McNamee was his predecessor, and normally at this time of year, Craig Tiley is front and centre in and on every mainstream media platform, telling the tennis world how amazing the next Australian Open will be and why. Apparently, he's not doing that at the moment. He's talking to US tennis. Now, it could well be that this Australian Open Live, maybe we haven't got enough to do. Maybe we're just reading too much in to the update from Tennis Fan Kaz 22 about the happy hour promo emails. At any rate, what we recommend is grab yourself a ticket now by any means. Get along to Australian Open qualifying. It starts on a Monday, 12th of January 2026. It runs for 3 days. You can get in for 10 or 11 bucks. Used to be free, but 10 or 11 bucks. These days, that's still just it's the price of a beer these days, or price of a return ticket on public transport to Melbourne Park to watch the Australian Open 2026. And the real action gets underway starting on a Sunday again for the 3rd year in a row, and it runs until Sunday, the 1st of February 2026. This Australian Open Live produced by Wise Words Media. We're based in Melbourne, Australia, and we are the experts since late 2021 on all things Melbourne, all things Melbourne Park, and all things Australian Open 2026. So stick around with us we'll be bringing you live match commentary, audio only, radio style commentary throughout the first week of the Australian Open, and as we get into the second week, and we'll be picking and choosing some of our favourite upcoming matches with some of the lesser known players. We like focusing on the wild cards and those outside the top 100, the qualifiers, those that get through, and we like following lesser known players and bringing a little bit of colour to the Australian Open for you. Thanks for listening, thanks for watching, and bye for now. Good luck, all the best. It's around court 14, court 15. She played through an injury during that match. So hope you're enjoying this coverage we're bringing to you through this Australian Open Live.